Hey girl, it's your old chuckle buddy. Yes, you. Johnathan James Ramcharan, reporting live for duty in the year of our Lord, April 10th, 2018. Welcome to Johnathan Ramcharan, the podcast. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Yeah, feeling good today. Got up and went for a jog. Get your shoes shined up, boy. Get those high heels on and go for a jog. Yeah, man, I went for a jog this morning. Feeling revitalized? Yeah, that's the word, revitalized. Feeling revitalized. I was in a bit of a funk the last day or so. I just been working very hard, you know, I've been working on the podcast, been doing my stand-up comedy, had some good shows back to back. Then I had like a mediocre show on Sunday night. Was feeling kind of low down, lazy, good for nothing, lousy, crummy, run down, just feeling like a dog fuck. And it kind of affected my mood. And, you know, as a recovering alcoholic, you know, one of the dispositions, several dispositions that we have, how we define our condition as being restless, irritable, and discontent. So I started getting those feelings and when I get those feelings, which aren't often, I try not to stew in them, but I do get those feelings. When I get those feelings, you know, I can't really think clearly. I can't see the forest for the trees, you know, I'm in a funk. And yesterday was like that. I was just bogged down. But luckily, you know, today I got up and I got at him and I went for my jog. And feeling very, very grateful, rejuvenized, revitalized. But what in the fuck? How many people are just wandering around in the middle of the fucking morning? You know, just wandering around, going for a jog, and there's just fucking people everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing here? I'm like in the middle of a field. I'm in the middle of a soccer field. There's people just like wandering around. It's like a fucking Hitchcock movie or something. Fucking zombies popping out of bushes, people walking dogs, children running around. I'm like, what in the fuck? Fuck off. Trying to go for a jog here. You know, I sound like my mother's ex-boyfriend. Fuck off! Would you fuck off? Trying to go for a jog, you know? It actually made me cut my jog a little short because I was just starting to get annoyed. There was like golden retrievers and squirrels and raccoons and fucking toddlers just everywhere, man. And like I did 2 laps around the park and then I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm sick of these people. And then I booked it back home, right? But you know what, one thing that was really inspiring though was once I got home, I was standing there in front of my apartment building and I was like, holy shit, like I'm not even out of breath really. Like I'm really getting back in better shape. And I encourage everyone out there to, you know, do that. Don't be resigned to whatever you feel is your health or your physical state or your mental state. Like just try to be healthy for yourself, you know? And, you know, I don't say this from a place of condescension. Like, I'm a fucking recovering alcoholic. I'm always going to be a recovering alcoholic. That's a part of my disposition, the restless, irritable, discontent nature of an alcoholic, is that those feelings can come back at any time. And if I'm not maintaining my condition, it can catch me. It could catch me off guard and take me back into that nightmare. I was at my sobriety meeting on Sunday and we were talking and there was a man, he had 4 years of sobriety. Something happened, some switch went off in his head and he wound up drinking. And he's just back in the program now, these last 9 months. He's been sober for the past 9 months and he was talking about that, the cunning, baffling, powerful nature of alcoholism. He didn't know why he went back out and started drinking. He just did. So I'm very mindful of that, right? And that's why when I'm discontent, restless, irritable, discontent, it's kind of, it's something I have to acknowledge, you know. I try to walk around like I'm on cloud 9 all the time, which I'm not. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I don't really know why, or even if I do know why, it's still not a reason for me to live in that place, right? I got to do something about it. So that's what I mean. I'm not trying to come from a place of condescension on anything. Like, issues are issues, and go out there and address them, you know? The world is yours. Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours. The world is yours. I got a potted plant. I got a potted plant. Come on, it's time to do the Mario. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I got a potted plant. Like, I bought this potted plant a couple weeks back, and like I say, I work at a furniture store sometimes, right? When I'm not doing my fabulous stand-up comedian act, and I'm not doing my breathtaking Oscar-nominated, award-winning acting performances, or if I'm not working out or playing the old bass guitar, as those are my hobbies, I'm buying potted plants and working in furniture stores. And the furniture store I work at, they had this like wall ornament for houseplants, just like this funky kind of wall ornament that you can place your potted plant in. I can't describe it any further than that. It's a strange thing to describe. It looks weird. It's like, it's made of like yarn, and there's a wooden dowel, and it kind of holsters the potted plant. Anyways, I saw that at work one day, right? I'm like, wow, it looks ballin'. And so I bought it, and I bought a potted plant for it, a spider plant. And this was a couple of weeks back. And after I bought it, I went to I bought it at a convenience store, a Korean convenience store in my neighborhood. And then I went to the grocery store that was also in my neighborhood. And I'm standing in line there, and there's this little Filipina lady, right? She goes, "Oh, is that a potted plant?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a potted plant." That's a potted plant. That a spider plant? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I got that one too, the potted spider plant. But mine's a lot small. Mine's a lot bigger. Mine's bigger than that one. I want one like that one. I'm like, oh, you want a baby? You want a little baby plant, don't you? She starts giggling, right? I'm like, yeah, you want a baby plant, don't you? I don't know. It sounded kind of funny at the time, because I had just recently looked up online like about potted plants, and I guess like when they are small, they're like babies, and it kind of felt kind of cute too. We're talking about like a baby plant. She starts giggling. I'm like, yeah, you want a baby plant, don't you? Yeah, look at you. You want a little baby, don't you? I don't know. It was kind of silly and weird. But then we started talking about like potted plants, and she taught me how. She's like, next time you get the plant and they get the bigger, you got to transfer the plant into a bigger pot for the plant. Once it gets bigger, the baby plant will get bigger. Then you got to transfer the baby plant into a bigger pot. I was like, okay, thank you, miss. Hence, what I did a couple days ago, I had to transfer the potted plant into a bigger plant container, which is the new ornament one I bought for my wall. So I did that a couple of days ago. I guess Sunday night I did that, and it was pretty interesting, and so I'm pretty thankful for this potted plant. Hopefully it's going to grow nice and healthy. I think I got the blessing of that Filipino lady. The Filipino lady gave me her blessing on my potted plant. And I think it's going to grow pretty good. It's looking pretty healthy and robust. Nice and robust. This plant looks robust. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, he's getting a little bit greener too, I noticed. Because like, it was starting to get kind of pale. Like, because like what happens is like, when you buy a potted plant, they usually come in those tiny little plastic containers. Well, if you keep it in there for too long, it's eventually going to start, the roots develop a knot. And like, you have to prune the roots when you transplant the pot. I'm not a farmer, all right? I'm just, trying to do my best with my potted plant. So like when the roots get too big, when they come in those little containers, you got to prune it a little bit. And you got to get it into a bigger plant so the roots can stretch out and, get more nutrients and more space and whatnot. And, that's what was happening with the plant. It was starting to like wilt and shit. So there you have it with the potted plant. Have I bored you to death yet? Ah, fuck off. Why don't you fuck off? You try being fucking, I don't know. You try being the father to a fucking baby potted plant, all right? It's not easy. You know, it's not easy being a single father to a fucking spider plant. The thing has needs and shit. It's crying for his mother every night. Where's mommy? I'm like, mommy's never coming home. The bitch left us. She's off in a botanical garden somewhere, you know, living the high life. That fucking whore. She took everything. Like, when's mommy coming home? I'm like, mommy's never coming home, you little fuck. I'm gonna turn you into a salad if you don't shut your goddamn trap and go to bed. Oh, what? You have better potted plant material? Is that what it is? You got better potted plant jokes? Bring them at me. Send them at me. I'm gonna write a screenplay about potted plants. It's gonna be called, I don't know, The Attack of the Potted Plants. That sounds pretty good. Bring back the old sci-fi genre of like those old wacky like sea movie. I wouldn't mind doing that, to be honest with you. Like get into a string of like sea movies as like the villain, kind of like a Peter Lorre or like Boris Karloff or who's that other fuck? That other weirdo, Bela Lugosi. I want to suck your blood. You know, Dracula. It'd be kind of cool to like star in like a string of like B movies where I'm like this like twisted scientist, you know, repotting plants, and I got like a I got like a little Filipina lady as like my like little like Igor sidekick. She's like, John, it's alive, it's alive. I'm like, what? It's alive. No, it's alive. For fuck's sakes, Madeline, I'm gonna send you back to the Philippines. No, John, don't do that to John. It's alive. It's alive. Yeah, man. I think I'm onto something here. My new career as like a, I wouldn't mind like getting to be known as like one of those weirdo, because I am like a weirdo anyways. Like I told you guys in previous episodes, like I listen to like horror stories and ghost stories, alone in the dark. I like Edgar Allan Poe, and you know, I'm fascinated by the macabre. And I wouldn't mind being like some weirdo guy like that who narrates stories for the weirdos out there. Hi, my name's Johnathan Ramcharan. This is the tale of the Telltale Heart. Some would call me mad, but am I mad? You know, all those weirdo fucking narrators from the 1950s. Vincent Price was good at that. He had that real, yes, as happy hour in the little hamlet town, and I thought I saw a chalet. I walked to the chalet, and there was Beatrice, the old town drunk. Like, I don't know, he had this weird way of talking in his voice, yes. My name's Vincent Price. He was like a fucking weirdo. He used to, like, collect, like, art for, like, art galleries. You know, Vincent Price, if anybody knows that name, check him out. He's a really great actor. He was known as like he was in Thriller Night. He was a guy who did like that weird voice, like at the beginning or the end of the song, you know, thriller, whatever happens in the song, I kind of forget. But yeah, Vincent Price, he was like a stage actor. I think he went to like Harvard or Yale or one of those prestigious schools. And, you know, he was kicking around Hollywood doing like, you know, just the handsome young man, lover, interest character. And somewhere along the line in his performances, he became like the kind of like Peter Lorre, you know, the Peter Lorre, the weirdo guy. That fucking, they had like he also had that persona of like the strange and dark, macabre character actor. Vincent Price, and somewhere along the line in his career, he started doing a lot of like, you know, horror, science fiction type stuff. He was on like one of the original Batman series. He was a villain on there. He narrated a lot of like ghost stories for children and classic works of Edgar Allan Poe and stuff like that. I'm not quite that versed on his whole career. All I know is that I'm aware of him and how he added to the macabre and horrifying aspects of entertainment. Vincent Price, So go check him out when you got the chance. Speaking of, some of that cool, what do you call it? Some of the classic performances and stuff like that. During my little dark day yesterday, when I was feeling kind of lazy, low down, shiftless, rotten, good for nothing, crummy, washed up, lousy, louse, rotten, fucking washed up bum, like I was feeling yesterday, I was like, okay, well, let me just like try to salvage the day somehow by like watching some things that inspire me or whatever. So I watched a few films yesterday. I watched, oh, by the way, I love potted plants. I don't know if I finished that bit or what the hell I was even getting at. But yes, I have a potted plant. It's doing very good. I'll keep you all up to date with the progression of the potted plant, all right? Now calm down. He's doing fine. His mother, she's in a, botanical garden somewhere in Iowa. And, he's going to have a good life. I'm going to raise this potted plant, to be a tree, all right? So he's going to do okay. But anyways, yesterday when I was feeling low down and shiftless, I decided to watch a few movies to get my spirits back up. And I watched The Maltese Falcon, starring Humphrey Bogart, Mary Astor, Sidney Greenstreet, and Peter Lorre. Directed by John Huston. And it was a great fucking film. It's like one of those first film noirs, about like the private detective genre. Fucking good movie, man. I always like watching it, just like for the style of it, like just like the whole like the lighting of film noir, like the shadows, the cascading light from doorways, the decrepit shadows in the dark in the alley. And just like the whole gumshoe like rhetoric and speech, like, hey, Toots, hey, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to rope me in for murder, huh? Well, see, I'm going to blow this popsicle stand. Yeah, see, I'm out of here. You're not going to take me alive, copper. And the way they talk and stuff like that, real kind of, just real stylistic. And I actually wound up reading the book. But to be honest, I can't remember because I was hammered when I read it. I had this, like, back in my drinking days, I used to, like, love getting drunk and reading. And there's so many books that I read just absolutely hammered. Actually, at one point, I remember I was living in a men's shelter, and I was reading Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. And I'd just get hammered. I'd be outside, like, on the stoop, smoking a cigarette, drinking a 40, just reading, like, about this Russian student who murders an old pawnbroker woman and hides her body, and then just this weird tale of morality and hence Crime and Punishment. And at the time too, I was sleeping in a men's shelter, and next door to me in the men's shelter, like they cram you into a room full of 15 other homeless men, right? So you live on a cot, you sleep on a cot. The cot next to me was a Russian immigrant. He's like, yeah, good morning, John. Can I borrow a cigarette? I was like, okay, just don't kill me, you fucking psycho. So it wasn't very comforting while I was reading that Russian murder mystery to be sleeping next to a cosmonaut. But, it was all good. But anyways, like I said, I used to like getting drunk and reading. And I had read The Maltese Falcon before drunk. So, but anyways, it was a great read. At least I think. I can't remember. But it was definitely a great movie. Definitely check it out when you get the chance. But like, Humphrey Bogart, one of the greatest actors, obviously, very stylistic. Peter Lorre, that Hungarian Berlin creepo guy with the biggie eyes, the wide eyes, Peter Lorre. And you got like fucking Sidney Greenstreet, the big fat kingpin of the whole ordeal in the movie, the British guy. And Mary Astor, she's a very talented actress. Definitely can't recommend it enough. Go check it out. Very great film. Really inspiring if you like that crime world of seedy San Francisco 1940s, stylistic, film noir, gumshoe, type of shit. The other movie I watched was Glengarry Glen Ross. That's a classic. That's a goddamn classic right there. Written by David Mamet, the famous writer, director. And this film was directed by, actually, James Foley. But David Mamet wrote the screenplay. And it's actually based off of a play. And it stars fucking the greats, man. Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, and Kevin Spacey. Kevin's been having some rough publicity lately with some of his sexcapades, but I'll leave that to Kevin to deal with. But yeah, aside from that, it's a wicked fucking movie, one of the classics. It's about, I guess generally the working man, and I can relate to a lot of it now as a bit older man. Older than I was when I first watched the movie. I'm only 31, but I first saw the movie when I was 19, and I just thought it was a great display of acting. But as I get older, I start to see that the theme of, I guess, the stress on the working person. I guess more or less that's one of the biggest themes of the play, of the film. And man, I could totally relate to it now because it's such a crunch, right? You guys can admit that, right? It's a grind. You got to get up there and fucking service your life, plead for your life every day, it seems. Maybe it's not that dour. Maybe it's not that dire. Maybe it's not that, dreary. But, you got to get out there and scrape and scrounge. You got to get out there and fucking shake a tail feather, kick a foot through the door, Hallelujah, I'm here. You got to do something, right? And that's kind of what the theme of the play is, right? The film. These guys are they're salesmen, they're real estate salesmen, and they're under a lot of pressure to close the deal. Their job depends on it, and a memo comes from head office that if they don't close some sales by the end of the month, they're going to be canned out of a job. And through the course of this, there's a robbery that takes place at their head office. So that's basically the plot of the film. And it's great, man. Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon. Jesus Christ, Jack Lemmon is one of the finest actors that ever lived, man. Some people refer to him as the American Laurence Olivier, which I think is a bit of an insult because I hated a Laurence Olivier. He was a fucking idiot. Fucking queentard. Couldn't stand that guy. I didn't think he was that great, to be honest. But, Jack Lemmon is the bee's knees, man. He's great. The Odd Couple, grumpier old men, The Days of Wine and Roses, plays a crazy alcoholic. Coincidentally, he's an alcoholic as well, as he said in interviews. The Apartment. What other movies has he done? The Fortune Cookie. And he just has that delivery and the emotion and the characterization, the physicalization of, he's just a fucking pleasure to watch, man. Oh my God, seriously, a pleasure to watch. I could say that without any sense of comedic guilt. I'm should I shame myself for saying that? It just sounds kind of lame to say, but no, man, he's a pleasure to watch, man, definitely. And Al Pacino, tour de force, obviously. He's actually my favorite actor of all time, Al Pacino. The man. Oh, the fucking legend. He's up in there, he's doing his thing. And then a bunch of other great performances. Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, Kevin Spacey, prior to the sex allegations. And, Great film, Alec Baldwin, and definitely go check that out if you get a chance. It's a great, film about just the reality of the working person, and it's some great acting, classic acting. A lot of people refer to that, like let's just say in the acting community, because like around the time I saw this film, I was in theater school, and obviously the public, the general audience public, they remember the film and they like the film historians and whatever. But also like within the acting community, it's one of those films that really, it's kind of like any musician should listen to the Beatles, at least to check it out. Any actor should watch Glenn Ross to check it out, type of thing. And, it's... The only thing I would say, though, is because it's a very testosterone-driven piece, but that being said, a lot of women could probably get something out of it. It's still a great acted piece. It's still a great themes that women can draw parallels with, I believe. But it's very testosterone-driven. And, but hey, what the fuck, man? Like, I watch porn. I don't know, is that a cheap joke to like disgrace a woman actress, to cut down a woman's film acting career as to just like, some great porn actresses out there. I don't even watch porn. But anyway, check that out. Glenn Ross. Great film. Extraordinaire. Yeah. Today, feeling pretty good, Yeah, I'm just glad to be over that hump of yesterday. Yesterday was a fucked up day, man. I was really in that fog, really in that mental fog of just not being able to cope with my feelings. Sometimes I get that, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I do. Thank God it's few and far between when I get those days, but like yesterday I just was in I couldn't think. It's like, have you ever been in that place? Have you ever been in that mind space where you feel bad or whatever, you're feeling a kind of like run down or whatever, and despite yourself, you can't think, right? Like, I was like that. I was trying to do the podcast yesterday. I was trying to do some writing. I was trying to fill my time, and I could not think. My brain was just too clouded, and I had to just chill out and watch those movies, Look at my potted plant with a little bit of joy and gratitude. Gratitude for the, the salvation that's been in my life, you know what I mean? Just being grateful for the fact that, you know what, things aren't obviously 100% how I want them, but they're pretty damn good, And that's very important for me to remember is my gratitude. My gratitude for just how far I've come in life and just how much further I want to go. I want to go out and do some great things in my life. And I just got to be grateful for what I have and hopeful for the future, It's easy to get bogged down and, good thing that I tried to watch some things that kept my spirits high, and I tried to get physically active when I worked out this morning, and things are looking a lot brighter subsequently. I'm going to kind of try to get out of here pretty quickly here. It's almost my time. I don't know, though. I got to, I don't know, try to get a chuckle or two in before I leave, right? Wouldn't that be my due diligence as a comedian, as an entertainer, as a thespian? I, Johnathan James Ramcharan, make a decree that henceforth, on Johnathan James Ramcharan, the podcast, we shall strive for an excellence that has never been surpassed by any comedian or actor before or since the conception of JR the podcast. We stand behind our product as purveyors of comedy in the highest order, in the highest regard. We do not bow to the follies and foibles of the common man with their downcast eye and their upturned nose at the comic lifestylings of the artist? No! We stand for a higher principle on this podcast. We shall leave on the highest of notes, on the highest of laughter, on the highest of heights. We shall henceforth strive to be purveyors and expenders of comedic due diligence and laughter and life. We shall go forth and live. So anyways, I've been feeling very sexually frustrated lately, right? And I don't know, I was feeling very guilty at a comedy show as of late, right? Because there was this girl in the audience, right? And, I was just kind of looking at her throughout my whole set, right? I'm like, look at my lips, look at her, yeah. And, I had to, count to 10, and calm down and really just search within my soul and be like, you know what? You don't want to go down this depraved lifestyle anymore of, hitting on audience members or poking your nose in business where it shouldn't be, right? You gotta live a charmed, clean existence, right? Not to say you can't go out and mingle when the chance is to mingle, but, as a purveyor of the highest order of comic due diligence, I strike out at the indifferent and callous heart of the fucking comedian that goes out and preys upon the weak. And, that's about sums up my feelings on just my mental state as of late. I am lambasting and, what is the word? Wringing myself out for, I'm just trying to hold myself to a higher standard in general, you know what I mean? When I'm feeling like shit, I just got to acknowledge it. When I'm having shitty thoughts, I got to acknowledge it. And I'm just trying to be a better person, you know what I mean? All in a day's work. It's your old chuckle buddy, guess who? Johnathan James Ramcharan, reporting live for duty on this April 10th, 2018. Of the highest order, of the highest regard, I salute you for listening to this podcast this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever the fuck you listen to it. Fuck off. Hit me up. jr.thepodcast@gmail.com. jr.thepodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up. Send me in some questions. Send me some feedback. Maybe we can talk. Let's start a spiritual garden. All right? You go out there and be a good boy and girl, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.